Welcome to our video today, where we're going to tackle a common issue that many of you may have encountered when hosting your HTML files on a web server. The problem is that the table of contents, TOC menu, doesn't collapse. And this can be frustrating, especially if you've spent hours perfecting your documentation. In this video, we'll explore why this happens and provide a step-by-step guide on how to resolve it. If you're someone who creates technical documentation or writes guides for others, you know how important it is to have a functional TOC menu that makes it easy for readers to navigate through your content. So let's dive right in and understand what's going on behind the scenes. When you host your HTML files on a web server, the browser renders the pages based on the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. However, when it comes to the TOC menu, things get a bit more complex. The reason why the TOC menu doesn't collapse is that the JavaScript code responsible for toggling the menu items is not being executed correctly. One of the main reasons for this issue is due to the way web servers handle file paths and URL. When you host your HTML files on a server, the file paths change, and the JavaScript code may not be able to find the correct files or resources it needs to function properly. Think of it like trying to navigate through a city using a map that's not scaled correctly. You might end up lost because the map doesn't accurately represent the actual layout of the streets. Similarly, when the file paths change, the JavaScript code gets confused and can't find its way around, resulting in a non-collapsible TOC menu. To resolve this issue, you need to update your HTML files to use relative URLs instead of absolute ones. Relative URLs allow the browser to resolve the file paths based on the current directory, which ensures that the JavaScript code can find the correct resources even when hosted on a web server. Another approach is to use a base tag in your HTML header, which specifies the base URL for all relative URLs in the document. This way, you can ensure that all your relative URLs are resolved correctly and your TOC menu starts collapsing as expected. To summarize, the main points we discussed today are: the TOC menu doesn't collapse when hosting HTML files on a web server due to issues with file paths and JavaScript code execution. Using relative URLs instead of absolute ones can resolve this issue. Adding a base tag in your HTML header can also help resolve relative URL issues. These should give you a clear understanding of what's going wrong and how to fix it. But remember, the solution lies in updating your file paths and using relative URLs or adding a base tag to your HTML header. That's all for today's video on resolving the TOC menu collapse issue when hosting HTML files on a web server. If you found this explanation helpful, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. If you have any questions or need further clarification, please leave them in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you and help you troubleshoot your specific issue. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.